That's one of the best ones, definitely.
Yeah, it was funny because I talked to him at TI, and he was saying how he was going to retire, and he was just already giggling about it, before he'd even announced. And it's like, all right, you got to get out of contract somewhere. I'm never, don't hate the player, hate the game, right? If you got to get out, you got to get out.
Of course, now these days we're seeing people get out maybe a bit more permanently. We don't know for sure, but PPD, Universe, retiring.
Yeah, I don't think they had any other reason to do it besides just relaxing for a little bit, chilling for a little bit. Maybe pursuing some other things in life.
I don't want to keep burning them, but being a professional Dota player in North America is pretty rough right now.
Well, that's why
especially if you're West Coast. Well, what the hell are you going to do? The games don't start until like 7 p.m. your time. You can't play Europe competitively. What the hell do you do? Twiddle your thumbs?
Whoa, that's not true. I believe your brother just proved you can play from America and
Texas.
Oh, well.
Not quite California or Seattle.
True. Yep. Going back to the draft, boys, we have two very good combos on both of these sides. On one side, we have the Shadow Demon and the Centaur combination. Position 4, Shadow Demon has been banned out almost every single game so far. It's very strong. Together with the Centaur, you also have that kill potential in the laning stage. On the other hand, you already see the Alliance's strategy forming behind the Death Prophet and the Chen.
They've banned the AA. We finally see the respect given to this hero because it's similar to, I see Death Prophet almost as like the same way Alchemist used to be such high priority, like this big win condition. You just can't play against AA. And DP is the exact same. It just removes you as a win condition in some regard. And against Centaur, against Shadow Demon, it's already excellent. And I almost brought this up in the pregame. Era has been spamming Clinks. This is a fourth position. Yeah, and I'm almost certain this is an Era hero. I actually really like it as a 4. And something NiP has been really good about is utilizing these invis heroes in a lot of their drafts that just as a way to provide vision, connect for ganks. Yeah.
Yesterday it was HR that played it on position 4 first. It was Roger, right? And then they demoted it to position 5, in which it does almost just the same. When you're playing versus Chen, at least. This, however, is a hero that we haven't seen at all.
Hell yeah.
But it's your two-go hero versus invis hero, right? It's your Bara and your Clock. That's pretty much what you're thinking about.
It's also really good against Shadow Demon because you don't have a fast enough cast animation to disrupt the charge. And even if you were to get it off by some miracle, if you're bulldozing, it lasts for like half of a second, and who cares about Spirit Breaker illusions? So, very strong pick.
I feel like I can just hear T cheering from back in his apartment. As he has been talking about this here a lot. He's been spamming his pubs. It feels really good at the moment.
Yeah, there's some players that are spamming Bara in pubs as well. Yume too.
It's the best. You get home, you're unwinding.
It's just simple.
Have a couple of brewskis. It's one of those heroes that I think your skill actually improves with your BAC level, because you need to be so there's this complex, or what's it called, I don't know what the hell. If you're like if you have 2 or 3 alcoholic beverages, you're stronger in your second languages, okay?
Because you're more relaxed,
Google it.
right?
Something like that. Yeah. I think it's the same with Barathrum, because you've got to have that, because you got to have that.
You have to have the divide.
Yeah, exactly. You suddenly you feel like you've got hair on your chest.
You got to be screaming. You don't cancel.
You're bashing doubles at least. It goes.
I played it the other day, and I told my team to start. I'm not canceling charges. I'm not canceling it. Now charge your base and you just spam ping. I'm not canceling this. You better. It's like a movie standoff almost.
The best thing is when your team actually follows you up, and when they have heroes that can follow
so
you
good.
up.
How often did they not follow you up?
They did. We won that game. We made them rage quit. It was great.
Same for me yesterday. I played Spirit Breaker. It was very enjoyable to play. Maybe the hero is really strong. I haven't felt that the influence in the laning stage is way too big from you. It depends. You can itemize for that, but they have so much armor right now on the side of Alliance. Not only do you have Spirit Breaker, you have Dragonite. And these 4 heroes, by the way, are very flexible when you think about it. That Prophet has been played on 5. Chen has been played on offlane quite a lot in this patch as well.
I don't think we're not going to overcomplicate. This is a limp DP.
But Dragonite is something
like, surely this is an FNG Chen as well as the
I think it's a Nico baby Dragon Knight, and you just pick something now that deals with the troll in lane. The thing I like about this Alliance lineup is it's very complementary. You've got enough catch, but tons of sustain too. And part of the reason I love Death Prophet as a hero concept is because you provide mixed damage. So if you're NiP, it looks like you could just stack armor against this lineup, but if you have no BKBs, drains on Troll, drains on Centaur, you're not only going to keep Limp alive, that's like max HP based burn damage. It's quite significant.
Yeah, there's a good damage composition. Also, like the Breathe Fire, if you actually think about Troll plus Clinks right now, a lot of their physical damage is going to be reduced by this DK. You don't think that's too big of a deal?
It's something, but I don't think it's a concern in the in like your planning phase. Like you don't see DK as a counter to Troll because of damage reduction. It's more about just how you function. Like you're not really threatened by the Troll, whereas you threaten him, you also buy a Halberd. So I guess the theme of damage reduction is there.
They're definitely burning into their reserve time as well. It is their last ban. I guess they're thinking, is this Dragonite really their win condition or not? For Alliance, I like them way more when they have a position 1 that's actually the best win condition in the game as well, right? The hero that you have to address. Dragonite, he brings you this pushing power together with the DP, puts you on a timer. It can scale.
You just hit me with an S4 puck and a Nico Baby DK, and this draft is ready to roll. Because I actually disagree. I think Alliance looks best. The previous iteration, I would agree. It was like Nico Baby, hard carry Void, the rest of the team battling. That was when they looked really strong. But the new Alliance, I think, especially now that you've got S4 on the off lane, and like FNG is not somebody that typically picked these like mega late game drafts. Like he's all about map movement, map control, early tower taking. That's what I see Alliance's style right now, and peaking in the mid game. And I think you just get a playmaker for S4 and play some dotes right now.
What comes to mind? Maybe something like do you like a Broodmother in this type of game? Or is that too?
Not a huge fan. I think that's a little overkill. Just it's always
simple.
possible with S4, but I'd prefer a ranged hero. I think Puck is great just because of the control, and then you also cancel control BKB.
It's also about the laning stage with the Spirit Breaker that you have to think about, right? But they go with the Nico Baby win condition because that's what I like. That's what they like as well. They pick it very often.
They've chosen their favorite.
Damn it. You know, my predictions today are not going great at all.
Maybe you could be
I have to admit that I agree with you that Dragonite on that offlane won't really be that great versus the Troll, right? That's something. That's whoa. All right. Forget about everything else, boys. There's a Brood in the game.
And Alliance, they don't really have a way of dealing with it, right?
You have Spirit Breaker. You can hunt him. The problem is, so this is where we're going to see whether or not we have an S-tier Brood player. Because if this is like 2018 or 19 Ramses or Matumba Man, I say, yep, game over, GG, NiP, take it. It's all about the Spider Army.
Aren't they just putting Dragonite now mid? He has a lot of armor.
Yes, or you could do Slark too.
You could do Slark, but I think Dragonite, Soul Ring, just play around Breathe Fire and your armor.
Yeah, but
that Prophet plus Spirit Breaker on the offlane.
The thing is, Slark threatens Brood earlier, and I think it's more valuable to get Slark over-leveled. So if I had an option to just trade against Brood, I would want it to be my Slark. The concern is the Spider Army, and this is what I mean about the skill level of the Brood, because if this hero is played properly in this game, you're going to take tier 1 early, maintain this massive army, and then control like that middle area of the map constantly threatening, maybe like Medallion Diffusal Ags and just like swarm the map. But if you lose the spiders, Alliance's heroes dominate. You've got to control the army, and I think Alliance have to do a really good job of getting key kills on Brood before she gets out of control, because you're going to have major issues otherwise.
Yeah, I really like the Slark win condition overall, but then again, it's a Brood game. It's hard to go against a Brood last pick. They don't truly have the right hero against her mid lane too. I'm just not sure how much Dragonite will be able to do if they put him there.
Yeah, you can't. If DP lanes against Brood, Alliance have no prayer here. But it's always possible. Don't underestimate Spirit Breaker as a Brood answer.
Because of the charge, you can always hear, you can always set up the gank.
Some sort of vision on the hero or a form of terrain walking disables key.
Well, it is very hard to go against a Broodmother in a draft, but let's see if we can get some opposing opinions. We've actually got Nomad and 1437, and they're ready to show their faces. How's it going, Sunshine?
Hello, how are you guys doing?
Not too bad. Just here, ready to enjoy some cheesy Brood games, I guess. Hopefully not.
Yeah, maybe. I'm also very interested. I don't think you guys talked about it much, but this support Clinks, which we've seen Nigma do in the past, is now being picked up by NiP. I mean, Thebes, what do you think about that one? That's pretty wild, eh?
Yeah, I think it's a really strong hero now, especially with the buffs to its searing arrows. It does a lot of damage, and obviously you cannot pull aggro as well when you're harassing the enemy in the lane, so it can do a lot of work. I also seen Crit play this quite a bit. He's played like in every single position. He's rank 1 in EU pubs as well. This man has pretty much mastered that hero, and I think I have very high hopes for Clinks. And it's also really good at killing couriers too. And
It's been
couriers
picked
give
up.
a lot of gold, especially in the mid game.
It's been picked up like for what 7 days straight right now. It's really
Pretty
prominent
scary.
on position 5, 4, even on core roles.
Yep.
But let's go back to Brood, guys. What do you think? You
can't
they
ignore
stand a
it.
chance versus the Broodmother. What do you lane versus it? Is it the Dragonite? Is it truly the answer?
I think it's going to be good enough, right? You got like this Dragon Blood that's going to help the DK lane mid lane against the Broodmother, and then eventually they're just going to get these kills with the Spear Breaker. I think the Slark's going to be really good, especially in the mid game as well. Overall, as long as Alliance get their items, they get their team items up, I think they're going to be completely fine to fight into NiP. But if somehow they can rotate some supports and kill this Dragonite's tower extremely early, and the Brood infests around the middle area of Alliance's side, I think it's going to be really problematic.
I think this was during your era as their coach, Theben. But if you remember when Secret used to play like a Zai Brood with 2 rotating supports like CM Earth Spirit, they'd give him like a level advantage, collapse on the tower, and then leave the Brood alone and he'd free farm. That was you, right? Or you were around?
Yeah, Zai was the one who was playing Broodmother on that team, and it was like an idea that you just like keep collapsing on the enemy heroes with your supports, and you just force people out of like all the other sides of the maps. So you get these 1v1 matchups on the other sides where you pick these stronger cores on the side lanes as well. So naturally, just by bringing everybody into this Broodmother's lane, you essentially won 3 lanes. Because Brood is so overwhelming, and it was like a counter pick, and they just already had to help, even if it was it's like a solo Brood in that lane to begin with. So now you're gonna have to bring like 3 or 4 heroes into the mid lane, and it just naturally gives free farm to all your other heroes.
Yeah, I remember playing against that. It's not fun, but
Sounds like the pause is over. We're ready to get on with the game. How about it, boys?
Thank you very much. And as you guys mentioned, it's going to be a lot of focus on this middle lane. And, you know, I think Brood has kind of changed as a hero over the years. She used to be this thing which just pushed down your middle lane and you had to stop it. But Brood has kind of transformed recently to this hero which kind of just out-efficientizes you in the game. Is that a word? I'm making it a word. She's just going to farm the jungle and she's going to farm the creeps around the jungle. Will the DK, if he doesn't get crushed, be able to just kind of hold the brick wall steady and put enough pressure on the Brood to stop her being able to farm the jungle as well as the lane?
I don't think it's ever possible to actually stop the Broodmother from farming, unless you're a hero who can just like hunt her in the jungle and have another support also be there with you. Dragonite isn't really that hero. Dragonite sort of just wants to stay in the mid lane, soak up damage, get to level 6, and try to hit the mid tower. So they really don't have that heroes. But I think Alliance game plan should be focused around just getting experience and having that huge, massive 5-man group up potential. Because if you look at NiP's lineup, their team fight isn't like super strong, right? You see, like they got like the Centaur, they got a lot of single target. Like Centaur is pretty much like the best team fighter they have on Dire side. So Alliance, on the other hand, have this Dragonite, Death Prophet, Chen with, you know, who's gonna have a mech, all this healing going. It's gonna be this super Death Ball-y lineup. They just gotta get to that point.
That is going to be the aim of this game as we get into this one immediately. Supreme being chased around a little bit by Limp in this middle lane. Nice little snake on the range creep there. But we'll look towards the side lanes versus immediately a bit of aggression coming out and a bash as well onto Soneko in the bottom lane. Look at the damage coming out from Hanskin, just chasing back this Clinks and stopping him, really just being able to sit here and harass people. Hanskin, his answer to this huge damage coming out from the Searing Arrows is just to run at the little bony boy. But yeah, it's going to be Charlie on the troll with Soneko on the Clinks versus S4 being played by, playing the Death Prophet and Hanskin playing on the Spirit Breaker, who just continues to follow Soneko around. I mean, he's even saying, Charlie, come and help me, but Hanskin is not letting it out. But how's this lane supposed to go in your eyes?
I think normally they would like Soneko to just be bullying some kind of melee hero like Nico Baby, and that's the reason why they had to like make this rotation happen. And since it's going to be S4 here, I don't think Soneko's going to get that many hits off, but it's still extremely scary. And I like that Hanskin is focusing down the Clinks, because if they just let him...
Oh no, that doesn't feel good. Hanskin, Jesus, this man should play the lottery today. That was ridiculous.
Yeah, and now Charlie's left alone in the bottom lane against 2 heroes, because Soneko just can't TP back down to the bottom lane and help him out, since he did try to get out of there. It's going to make that big walk of shame back to bottom, and Hanskin is going to get a free pull here off, and that's going to be so good for this lane bottom for Alliance.
Yeah, this Spirit Breaker's working out marvelously for them so far in the laning phase, which isn't traditionally where we expect this hero to be that strong, but the axe is coming out from Charlie, giving him the space, making that a very slow charge. And I think things should probably continue down here in Alliance's favor, so let's take a look up towards the top lane now, as we see Nico Baby and FNG on the Slark and the Chen, laning into Sableye on the Centaur Warren and Era on the Shadow Demon. You know, I feel like this is very classic lane, the Shadow Demon and the Centaur Warren, always very scary to play into. So far, so good for the Slark, but do you think the pressure's going to start to amp up once you get a couple of levels on these two NiP heroes?
I think now that the Slark has reached this point where he's secured himself some creeps, got the magic wand, he's probably going to grab a Wraith Band here soon, I think. And then after that, it's going to be very hard for NiP to kill him. Although they do have like a lot of damage with like the disruption into the chain stun, but I think Slark is just much stronger, especially with the Chen, who's going to get a creep soon and is going to cover the Slark and just going to go on the Shadow Demon every time they try to focus.
Yeah, just try and... I mean, I think that's kind of the key to beating this lane as well, which Alliance hopefully have figured out. And as we look back towards this middle lane now, and in the first few minutes, it's actually the DK sitting with 30 and 6, but of course, it is a Broodmother lane, so, you know, it's not strictly accurate, but if we look over towards the net worth there, it's still the DK leading by a fairly significant margin, in fact, leading by 600 gold to start things off, so Limp having a marvelous time, yeah.
Oh, and it's going to make him feel really good when you look at that CS bar, you see like 33 there. You know it's Spiderling, but still.
In the bottom lane, trying to run around the trees. Hanskin, he's trying to get the charge off, but he can't quite see him. Charlie's actually doing a great job just harassing him, running it down. He even throws a searing arrow his way, forcing Hanskin to TP back to the base. That is quite nice for NiP. Going to give him a breath in the bottom lane to try and recover, and a little bit of space here to try and get Charlie back into the fighting position down here in the bottom lane. But of course, the Spirit Breaker, the power is that he can just come scorching right back in with that charge.
Yeah, they're just gonna bring some more regen down here for S4 with the charge, and that's gonna be topping off this bottom lane once again, so they're ready to fight. I think, so as of right now, Alliance is having a really good time in pretty much all of the lanes. This is exactly what they need to have, because their goal, again, is just to get their experience, be able to hit that death ball timing that they're looking for. Oh, mid lane.
Died out onto Supreme. Yeah, he doesn't have the ability to throw out a Breathe Fire, and I don't think it would have been enough to finish him anyway, but still, Lim just absolutely dominating this middle lane so far. I mean, his CS looks ridiculous, his net worth is ridiculous, still keeping that 500 gold advantage over the Broodmother. So, yeah, I mean, we're having issues. This Spider is having some problems.
Yeah, and when you play single target lineups like this, it's very important that you do extremely well in the laning stage and you try your best to just get what kills you can or little advantages that you can make from it, because your team fight is like really dependent on you snowballing and getting your Black King bars early in the game.
Yeah, and they hit their 6 at the same time, which is not really what you would expect from a Brood lane, but yeah, Supreme really kind of getting it shown to him. And look at this, Limp, the moment he comes into the lane, he just starts using his spells. Bottom lane, yeah, S4 getting himself away, Charlie pretty low as well. Meanwhile, up the top, Nico Baby's the one to fall. Hopefully we didn't bait the cameraman too heavily there when he caught the action, but if we didn't, I do apologize.
Yeah, the Chen wasn't nearby at that situation, and they just kind of went on him, and that's unfortunate.
Goof Stomp, and the extra damage coming out from that Centaur is a little bit too much to deal with the Retaliate. So, yeah, that is one very dead Slark up in the top lane. So, NiP, they're trying to make the plays to drag themselves back into this one. I mean, that's definitely a big step forwards in the top lane, killing off this Slark and trying to give Sableye control of the lane, make him feel a little bit threatened. But, you know, I'm still worried about this mid and even this bottom lane as well. S4 has had a very good time down here. Meanwhile, Charlie struggling a little tiny bit.
Yeah, so let's look around at the catapults right now. Like, which lane can actually apply some pressure onto the enemy tower? We see mid lane, Broodmother does have a bunch of spiderlings and a siege creep still alive, so we'll see if he decides to do anything with it. Nope, he's just gonna let it go and die to the tower here. DK is just gonna clean that up. So it looks like it's gonna be a very slow start to this game at this point. We're not gonna see too many rotations happening. Most of the time, the catapults are like your first sign of a tower being pressured, but it seems like they're all pretty much dead at this point in the game, except for the one at bottom. But I don't imagine that bottom lane is the one that's gonna be applying any pressure. S4 is like, he has phase boost, magic wand. He's almost level 6, half a level to go. This lane is gonna be very difficult to penetrate for NiP.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing they've got is that this Life Drain isn't going to be doing... Spirit Siphon not going to be doing a hell of a lot of work here because they've got so many slows and they can just keep really far away, and Clinks with his great range means they can generally keep that gap away, but Hanskin is going to be the big deciding factor in that with this Charge of Darkness to come in and disrupt things. Meanwhile, now Limp up. He's going to hit 100 CS in a minute. I mean, this is ridiculous. He's got so much creeps. I understand it's inflated by the spiderlings, but he's got a huge net worth as well. Limp is just huge all round, every aspect.
Yeah, it's like he kills like 10 little spiderlings with the fire breath, but he's still getting like 30-something gold, right, out of it. So yeah, I mean, he's kind of happy, and some of those are expensive spiderlings too.
Yeah, spiderlings and spiderites. I'm not really into my spiderology enough to know which is more important, but I know one of them gives a bit more money, and Limp has been certainly getting a couple of those, judging by his net worth right now, but he's actually heading down to the bottom lane. He's popped the regen rune. They might be looking for an entry point onto Charlie down here. Let's see if they can find it.
He also got the S4 level 6 if he wants to do that, but this is scary though. Now that he's TP to the bottom lane, this is an opening for Broodmother to take the mid tower too.
Yeah, you're on a time. The moment you leave this lane and show yourself on another lane, you're on a timer. But they have got an X-Factor. Yeah, he's going to TP him back in to help him come and defend this tower, I suppose. That's actually... Okay, that's very nice. I like that a lot.
Yeah, but it's still going to take like so much damage. This tower, though, just took like 900 damage just like that for like that little bit of time that he was away from the lane.
Right, and what did he get done in that time away from the lane?
I mean, he took that opportunity. He tried to make a play happen on the Troll Warlord, but, you know, it was too obvious, I feel like. And Soneko can just go invisible. They don't have any detection for him there. And that 900 damage definitely wasn't worth it. And also, Limp had to force his ultimate to be used here, too. Oh, finds the Brood, but doesn't get any of the spiderlings. Oh, it's going to turn on him, the Dragon.
Yeah, they've got Soneko here as well, but, I mean, Limp doesn't seem that bothered. He's just kind of casually strolling back under his tower, playing carefully. And now Royal Jelly dropping for the Chen. He's going to give that over to his cause, I would imagine.
Just look at his build. Look at this Dragon Knight's build. Like, 4 levels in Dragon Blood, 16 health regen, 12 armor. These spiderlings do not do any damage whatsoever to this Dragon Knight. And that's what we're talking about. Like, all he has to do is just sit here in the mid lane, defend his tower, buy time for his Slark, his Death Prophet, everybody to get farmed. And he's also getting a lot of experience from this, too.
He is indeed.
Yeah. And you should be happy with this. They should really be happy with this. The longer they delay this game, the better it is for Alliance, I believe, right now.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely feels like NiP are the ones who are going to be needed to make the movement. So they do have Charlie on this troll, and we'll see what he builds into later. Meanwhile, S4, yeah, he might have been caught going for the rune here. Soneko's sitting on top of him, and the spider's coming over as well, but Hanskin's just going to come through, and that big Wrecking Ball scaring off the Brood and getting it safety. Meanwhile, FNG being chased by Era here, but unfortunately Nico Baby's come over and has ruined Era's party as he tried to go for the solo kill, and actually ended up getting him a kill for himself. So a little bit overzealous there, maybe from the Shadow Demon as he tries to find the Chen jungling and get himself a cheeky solo kill, but in the end, ends up with nothing.
Yeah, things are getting kind of scary, I would say, for NiP here, because their window of being able to kill some of the Alliance heroes is starting to close, and Alliance are going to start grouping up rather soon. The Death Prophet ult is coming out bottom. Hanskin just protecting S4 here.
Charlie could be in some trouble. The charge is going to come through. They kind of want to get his ulti out of him, but Era's making his way over, and they're going to pop the ultimate onto S4. Is there a go from NiP or not? They're looking for it. Yep, Chen ulti going to come out, but Charlie's time to chop away at S4. S4 might be losing his life. He's gone, and they got a disruption onto Hanskin as well. Hanskin, not on mana, does just now get the mana for the Charge of Darkness. It's a very slow run here, and he might just about make it. One stack of poison should not be enough to bring him down. Brings him to about 30, but Seneko, yeah, he's still chasing. Seneko's still got him here. If he's fast enough, which he certainly is. Handskin, a couple of arrows in his back, should take care of him. Oh, it was close, but they do have themselves that cow and will be having some beef for dinner. Meanwhile, we'll look over towards Limp. Now they've got the medallion, but unfortunately, the retaliation from Alliance. So they take down top. They find a tower out of this at least.
Yeah, that's huge for Slark, especially because now he's going to get that 2 camp opening and he can keep shoving the top lane out. And NiP has to keep reacting to these creep wave that's going to keep on going into a top tower as well. We can see on NiP's lineup, they don't really have much catch for the Slark. So that's going to be rather annoying for them to be able to pick him off in some ways. Unless Nico Baby goes overly aggressive and wastes his ultimate as well.
Done out onto Charlie. The charge is going to connect as well. He doesn't have that ultimate available for use, even if he did have the chance to use it. So Charlie's going to lose his life in the bottom lane, and Seneko and Era are out of there. Yeah, that's a blink reveal on Limp, as you say.
Wow,
the big one.
That is really insanely fast blink. He's got power treads, braces, soul ring, blink. Like this guy, this is a 1700 HP Dragon Knight, minute 12 with the dagger.
Oh no, they might have found Sableye here as well, because they TP in the Dragon Knight. He blinks himself forwards onto the Centaur. Centaur trying to get himself away. Disruption gonna buy him a few precious seconds, but I don't think it's gonna make much of a difference. They jump him, they kill him, and now they look for the +1. Era, Nico Baby inside his ultimate just keeps on chasing here. The stun does connect, and Era's gonna lose his life as well. In the mid lane though, Supreme finds something, and might be finding a couple of things as he's keeping the chase going onto Hanskin. He's running through the trees, but Hanskin, that's not where you want to go versus the Brood. He doesn't have any problems chasing you through there. Nico Baby has been seen. This guy does not have his ultimate though, nor does he have any mana at all, so he's only got himself a stick with 4 charges. Might have to think twice about this one, but Limp's going to jump in, finds the stun. Seneko, what can he do to keep Supreme alive? Well, he's going to drop the army down. Burning Army used. Supreme does get himself over that cliff and to safety, and all things considered, Supreme getting away with running around on low HP just about, but this DK doing so much work in this game. My goodness.
It feels so good for him. Like, although he's not the hero who can go around and hunt the Broodmother in the jungle, he is able to soak up all the pressure that Broodmother was able to do in the mid lane. And after all of that, he's really showing the fruits of his labor here with his blink, power treads, and he also took the Broodmother's tower first before the Broodmother can take his tower.
Madness. Absolute madness. Yeah, NiP, they are getting a little bit outplayed in this laning phase. It's 3k advantage still for Alliance, which they've been maintaining for a little while now. But things, you know, that they are hitting some timings on NiP, but Alliance just seem to be hitting them so much harder. This blink is just so much work for them. And I want to mention FNG as well. This guy has been absolutely pivotal in making this mid lane, making this DK the reckoning force he has become. He was the one who kind of allowed him to yo-yo down to the bottom lane and then come swinging back in whenever the Brood put on the pressure. And he's the one which opened up for that kill in the top lane for that blink, well, second blink reveal, I guess. I think FNG's been playing a really good game so far, and this is a guy who's standing in as well. You know, he's I don't know if he's here on trial basis or just stand in, but you got to think Alliance have got to be looking to this guy going, you know what, this is working pretty well.
No, I mean, FNG is definitely like a high Dota IQ player. This guy really knows where to be. And especially when you put a player like this... Oh, mid lane though.
They're jumping onto the Brood. They've got the charge coming through as well. Exorcism being used. Alliance, they are all partying on down, but a huge storm comes down from Sableye. This is enough to save Supreme. It might well just be, but Hand of God turns it around, and Supreme's going to be the one to die, and it looks like Sableye should be heading the same way as that Spirit Siphon does so much work to him. And looking forwards, looking onto the Shadow Demon. Charge is going to connect as well. Era is probably going to be the next kill in this lineup here. Seneko, he's sitting by. He is invisible, but there's nothing he can do about this.
Here comes the death ball. This is where they're just going to be running around the map together as 5, being able to take towers out if they need to, or just follow the Dragon Knight, just hit some buildings up. They really want to see if they can get some bounty runes here, but Seneko already picked those up. So,
it's got to feel...
FNG. Is he being hunted?
He's being stared at right now, and the Axes are going to come through. They've got the hard skeleton army coming down as well, but the mech comes out from the Chen, keeping him alive. They've only got him to about half HP, and now the retaliation comes cutting on through. Charlie in some trouble, being netted up. Nico Baby's on top of him as well. He's got to pop the ultimate. He realizes he has to, but he doesn't really have a target. They're still chasing FNG through all of this, and they don't even bring him down. Charlie is going to be the death instead. Alliance, they just keep on responding, and NiP, they can't even kill a Chen. They can't even kill a Chen. I mean, what state are they in right now? Oh, God, Supreme, not like this. Caught out in the trees. The hunting is relentless. The power, the just constant pressure from Alliance. Another big stomp in, but a little slug just about gets off the Shadow Dance in time. Saberlight trying to make it back to his high ground, won't be able to do so. Snako runs him, and he'll drop into about half HP just from the AoE damage they've got. He's just got to slink his way back, keeping his eye on the Slark, stopping him from regenning. Nico Baby's saying, something's not right here.
Is there a ward here? No, it's a cling.
Yeah, he's like, there's still a ward. These guys have got this area really well warded, guys. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, he figures it out, but they don't care.
All these like single target lineups like this, like they're so reliant on winning lanes and getting kills. And it seems like they just can't take the team fight against Alliance anymore. Look at the items of Alliance. They got this mech on the Chen. This Death Prophet is about to have a Crimson Guard very soon, also a Blade Mail. And because he's playing against Shadow Demon, he's not going for the Yols, right? Because the Shadow Demon can just purge him and then he can't activate it anyway. So he's just building all these like great team items. And then the Spirit Breaker also going drums. Sark already has a drums. Like, they're just stacking all these auras on top of each other, and NiP don't even have any damage to even kill a single target.
No, it's looking really, really like NiP are just drowning right now. But you know, time for that golden question: what needs to happen? What series of circumstances need to happen for NiP to find themselves back into this game?
Well, they definitely need to see if they can pick off this Chen or the Spirit Breaker at the start of the fight. Maybe even Death Prophet. One of those three guys is probably the easiest. And hopefully from there, they can just start snowballing their kills. The Broodmother does have a Diffusal Blade now, and the Centaur Blink has been up. So those two guys really need to be able to play together and try to make some space happen. I would even consider smoking this Brood and Centaur right now just to get one kill and probably snowball off of that. Maybe even take a Roshan attempt and bring Alliance and start killing them out of position under some vision. But apart from that, if they just sit around here and just play next to each other without really taking any attempts of picking off Alliance and stopping them from grouping up, I think Alliance is just going to grow much, much stronger. And the stronger they grow, they're going to become invincible at some point.
Yeah, it seems like they're kind of waiting for that timing. So waiting for Charlie to hit this Diffusal Blade. But as you say, you know, it kind of feels like they could be doing something just to put some pressure, just to fight back a little bit into Alliance, but they're just kind of letting them play the game at their pace. They're doing exactly what they want, and NiP seem to have very little say on how this game is going so far. We'll see if they can start to take control and do as you say right now. I mean, the good thing about the Clinks, at least. Oh, charge coming through. Saberlight, he's going to be the target of this one with Hanskin and Nico Baby on top of him. There's not much chance of Sentinel getting himself out of this one. Could pop the Stampede, but there's not really much point at this stage. He is gone. A little bit of Courier Micro just to try and get it away from the hungry eyes of FNG, and he will juke it around quite nicely. I mean, not a terrible death down here in the bottom lane. It's pretty far away. They're going to get a tower for this one as Seneko jumps in, but Limp's going to get on top of him right now. I don't think Supreme has any interest in saving him, as Seneca's just going to try and run him through the trees. And you know what? Limp's like, screw it. I don't need to links.
They try to go for him, but they got to back off. Oh, this might be the opportunity here, but the Centaur is dead.
Heroes maybe caught out. Heroes trying to just keep the slot control, but no. S4, he's turning up to this one. He's got those ghosts, and they are ready to go. The stun comes out. Charlie, he can't die, but he doesn't have a choice. He's just going to get melted by the damage of Alliance like chocolate under a flame. He just goops away into nothing. 30 seconds without him. And just kept so low on net worth as well. I mean, look at this guy, 6k net worth. Now you look over at Nico Baby, and he's nearly hitting the 10k at this 20-minute mark. I mean, this is just an absolute wipe from Alliance right now.
Yeah, and S4 running all the way from top, all the way to the bottom bounty runes. He doesn't want to give anything to NiP at all. They just keep going for objective after objective. Now, we got to consider that bounty runes and outposts are also objectives. You don't have to only get towers. Those things also give you gold.
They're engaging, though. They're finding S4 here, and I don't think S4's got much of a counterplay. He's going to try and pop those Spirit Siphons, and actually, it's doing a decent amount of work keeping him alive, even with the Demonic Purge on him. It's still doing a great job at getting him back, and Saberlight trying to commit himself to this one, but the Hand of God coming out as well. S4, he's too tanky. He's not dying. Snako trying to get the TP away. Handskin not even going to try and hit him up there. S4's going to be a little bit careful inside that Skeleton army. Meanwhile, they look over towards Era, but yeah, as you say, in mid, they're going for Supreme. Supreme is going to lose his life, so FNG dies at bottom, but it's a worthwhile trade as they'll kill off this fighter and they kill off Era as well. Alliance, once again, I mean, trading 2 heroes for a Chen, you will take that every single day of the week. FNG does not mind at all. In fact, probably quite happy about it. And Nico, baby, he's still looking to Charlie. Now they jump in, Limp with the stun straight onto him. Is there anything to save him here? There is. Saberlight comes through, and this allows him to get off that battle trance, but there is a Heaven's Halberd out on the Dragon Knight now, disarming Charlie, making him useless. They're going to throw in the disruption, but you are just simply delaying the inevitable at this stage. Try to make it to the high ground, but Nico, baby, runs him down, and now looking towards Era as well. Ultimate comes out. Limp, meanwhile, looking at the backlines, and so they will Saberlight, but they get the kill onto Era regardless. Alliance just keep it coming. They just keep on serving up aces towards NiP, and they are struggling to return every single time.
Oh yeah, I mean their play bottom onto S4 was actually a really good idea by them, but they needed someone like a Broodmother or Troll Warlord to try and be there to deal the damage, right? This Blame Mail Vanguard is making S4 so tanky, and on top of that he also has an Essence Ring, so he's got a lot more HP than you normally would expect, and this is why I think like Centaur and Broodmother really need to play together in this situation, because like this Troll, he's just so underfarmed with him.
Now they look forward on to Saberlight. He's been caught out a little bit here. Dared to go into his own jungle and try to farm. What a fool as he gets run down once again. Alliance absolutely owning the map at this point. I mean, you could say he made a little bit of space for the Brood to go out and try and farm the jungle, get himself this BKB, but they're just going to run into Roche now with this Dexter's and S4, not afraid to pop it.
So I want to mention something. We were talking a little bit about FNG earlier, and one thing about FNG, like I've known this guy for a long time. This guy is an absolute genius of the game, right? And now he gets this might be the first time where he gets to play with a player like S4, who's also a captain, and also another player who has extremely high Dota IQ. So when you combine these players like this, you kind of like, and FNG is a captain himself, right? So they can like kind of share the burden of the team, and they kind of amplify each other's like abilities because of that. Now you don't have to like have one person think of like the entire game plan or do everything for you. So you have like S4 and you have FNG, and on top of that they also have Handskin, who I also believe was like captain in some of his teams as well. So they have a lot of great Dota minds going into this game, and they're able to execute like this team play, team push, snowbally lineups like alliances because of these kind of factors. You don't got like this one guy controlling everything. You got everybody, pitching in and having their ideas and like really utilizing, the comp properly.
Yeah, combo that with the huge experience of Limp as a space-making mid laner, and then you've got Nico, baby, this kind of new-ish carry player who's just like overloaded with potential at this stage. And this Alliance team looking pretty damn good. And FNG, I find it interesting that you say 2 great minds in the same team results in, a perfect balance of sharing the responsibilities, you said. I think that's not always the case. I think sometimes you have like a clash of minds. There have been a few all-star teams in the past which haven't really worked out so well, but this one definitely looking really good, and you can see that when you talk to S4 as they jump forward on Snako here. Snako, he's trying to fight up into Nico, not doing a terrible job, but will still lose his life. Flying back into this one and trying to make something happen as they jump in just to clear out those creeps. Saberlight battling with the kobold he just dug up, and well, at least he can beat that, but it doesn't look like he can do the same thing to many members of Alliance right now, as they're just taking their base for free. I mean, there is no resistance being offered right now, and now they're even going to jump forwards onto Supreme. Saberlight trying to make his way over, does land the stun, but Broodmother still getting run down here. Heaven's Halberd up, so she can't even turn around and heal herself up, and both Supreme and Saberlight gone, and that's it. They just cool it. They just tap out. GG is thrown into the air, and that is going to be game number 1 inside 24 minutes, going the way of Alliance. And I mean, I didn't expect this series to be a stomp, but after this first game, I can certainly see it turning into one. NiP, they got to dig deep in game number 2 and come out as